From Vermont Public, this is The Frequency. I'm Mitch Wertlieb. It's Thursday, March 13th, and here are today's headlines. The Trump administration is shutting down a nationwide program that brought more local food into schools and food shelves. Vermont Agriculture Secretary Anson Tebbetts said the state learned last week that it would not receive about $1.7 million this year for the local food assistance.
It's one of the great things about this program was it was supporting more local food into our cafeterias, into our homes, into our food shelves. So it's disappointing that it's been halted.
The Biden-era programs provided USDA money to social service groups or food hubs who then purchased the local produce and meat and distributed it to low-income households and into schools. A Rutland Aerospace facility is receiving millions of dollars to strengthen its manufacturing production. GE Aerospace announced on Wednesday it's investing $1 billion in its U.S. manufacturing, including in Rutland. GE's Rutland facility is set to receive around $32 million, that according to the company. The Rutland factory will use its funds to upgrade and buy new machines, equipment, and specialized tooling used in the production of aircraft engines, military helicopters, and fighter jet engines. A part of this investment will also be used to improve the building's utilities. The Rutland facility is one of 24 facilities across 16 states to receive funding. The Vermont Senate Wednesday gave its initial approval to legislation that requires social media companies to provide greater protections for young users. Backers of the bill said it was needed because social media companies use algorithms that are designed to make their platforms addictive for young people. The legislation also prohibits the sharing of personal data of minors. Windham Senator Wendy Harrison urged her colleagues to support the bill.
This bill is only necessary because of the intentional and unconscionable harm that large internet companies are doing to our children, and they have been doing it for years.
The vote was 25-5. Opponents of the plan argued it would likely be challenged in court and that there were other less complicated ways to deal with the issue. The bill will come up for final approval in the Senate today. The family and friends of a Vermont teen who died by suicide last year gathered with advocates at the State House this week to push the legislature to act on bullying and harassment in schools. Recent surveys show that bullying and harassment in Vermont schools is only getting worse, and data consistently show that marginalized students are more frequently targeted. Dana Kaplan, the executive director of Outright Vermont, said the national political climate is only emboldening bad behavior and requires state-level leadership.
These are direct threats to young people in this state, and it defies the values that we hold near and dear as Vermonters. We have a long history of taking care of each other here. We must see this moment for what it is and move forth with commensurate action to face the circumstances of today.
Advocates say they want lawmakers to expand the membership and duties of the state's Advisory Council on Harassment, Hazing, and Bullying Prevention in Schools, as well as better training and resources. Following a nationwide search, the Essex-Westford School District Board announced this week that Dr. Mark Holodick will serve as the district's next superintendent. Holodick's first day on the job will be July 1st of this year. He comes to the district after serving as Delaware's Secretary of Education since early 2022. Holodick is stepping in to replace outgoing Superintendent Beth Cobb, who announced she would retire at the end of the school year. Cobb was hired in 2017 as the first superintendent of the then newly formed Essex-Westford School District. Coming up, there's already a shortage of programs in Vermont offering older people and their caregivers social activities, care for ailments, and a bulwark against isolation. Vermont Public's Nina Keck introduces us to some of the folks benefiting from these programs and explains why the small number of them could shrink even further. That's after this.
Thanks for listening to The Frequency, where support comes from VITA, supporting business growth and innovation in the Green Mountain State. From agriculture to manufacturing, energy to food production, find solutions that turn your business dreams into reality. Visit VEDA.org and see how VITA can help make it happen.
If you're a new parent trying to get back to work, you know how challenging it is to find affordable daycare. On the other end of the life spectrum, programs that support older adults and provide daytime respite for caregivers are even harder to find. In Vermont, there are only 11, and proposed cuts to Medicaid could exacerbate the shortage. As Vermont Public's Nina Keck reports, program administrators say too few people know about these programs or understand their impact.
At Middlebury's Project Independence, the doors open at 7 a.m., but rush hour doesn't hit till after 8:30 when the buses start arriving.
Welcome. How are you today?
Cold.
Yeah?
There's a long line of wheeled walkers near the front door, and staff spring into action, escorting clients inside.
Hey. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Here, let's get your coat off and then we can head into the restroom.
Okay.
The building was designed specifically for this program, and it looks like a cheerful, oversized farmhouse. It's open 12 hours a day, Monday through Friday, and currently serves about 150 people a year, who range in age from 50 to 100.
Oh, that was close. Put it in there, Doris.
After breakfast, discussion groups and special events get underway. This week has a winter carnival theme, and staff are experimenting with an indoor snowball toss and other cold weather games.
Snowballs that don't make your hands freeze, too.
The socialization and activities are what attracted 78-year-old Diane Whitney, who says she'd be home alone otherwise.
I'd be a shut-in. I don't drive, and so I depend on my daughter.
She's one of many who take the bus each day, an unusual service this program provides that Whitney calls a godsend.
I told him if I could rename this building, I would call it Open Arms. You can get a hug whenever you want one.
50-year-old Nikki Juvan is a teacher in Middlebury. She's also one of an estimated 70,000 unpaid family caregivers in Vermont. Her husband Trent is 61, has had multiple strokes, and needs a lot of help. She says being able to rely on Project Independence 5 days a week has been a game changer for them both.
It meant that I could go to work and continue to do my job, knowing that he was being taken care of, and also, that he was being engaged with other people.
The cost for that daily support is $25.76 an hour, more if you use the bus. Medicare, the federal health insurance program for people 65 and older, doesn't cover it. Some people pay out of pocket or with long-term care insurance, but most Vermonters rely on Medicaid, a state and federally funded program that funnels assistance to low and moderate income adults. Nikki Juvan's husband is among them. So is 80-year-old Maureen Waters.
Hello, Maureen.
Hi, I'm Maureen.
Hello.
Waters is widowed, lives alone in Brandon, and has problems with her memory. Coming to Project Independence was her family's idea, but now she comes every day and loves it.
It beats the heck out of sitting home.
She says it's also helped her come to grips with her worsening memory.
Yes. You look around and you think, I'm not alone. And the people who come here are just so nice and friendly, and we're all here for the same reason. To have the support of the staff and each other. It isn't easy living alone.
But that support could be in jeopardy. House Republicans in Washington are calling for significant cuts in federal Medicaid funding. Eric Fritz heads the Vermont Association of Adult Day Services.
So if all of a sudden those dollars are drastically reduced, there's no doubt that many of our programs will be in jeopardy of closing.
1, 2, ready, play.
Back at Project Independence, staff lead a late morning jam session with the banjo. Maureen Waters says music activities like this one are her favorite.
Oh, I love to sing. Of course, 12 years of Catholic school singing in the choir, and I can still remember hymns in Latin. Dona nobis pacem pacem, dona nobis pacem. I was nervous. Let's give us peace.
It's something she and many others say this place gives them. For Vermont Public, I'm Nina Kack.
Thanks for listening to The Frequency today. We had additional reporting from Howard Weiss-Tisman, Bob Kinzel, Lola Dufour, and Nathaniel Wilson. Our executive producer is Kevin Trevelyan, and our music is by Blue Dot Sessions. I'm Mitch Wertlieb. Talk to you tomorrow.
Each morning, it's a new opportunity, a chance to start fresh. Up First from NPR makes each morning an opportunity to learn and to understand. Choose to join the world every morning with Up First, a podcast that hands you everything going on across the globe and down the street, all in 15 minutes or less. Start your day informed and anew with Up First by subscribing wherever you get your podcasts.